And joining us is the Executive Director of UN Watch, Mr. Hillel Neuer. Thank you very much for being with us. Good evening.
Thank you.
Mr. Neuer, first of all, can you explain more about this specific resolution that's being debated?
Sure. UNESCO has a World Heritage Committee, which meets once a year. They're meeting now in Istanbul for the next 10 days, and the Jordanians and Palestinians have submitted a resolution, which they do annually, claiming that Jerusalem's Islamic holy sites are in danger, and they're blaming Israel, and effectively denying Jewish ties to the Western Wall and to Temple Mount.
Now, you mentioned it yourself just now. They do this annually. So it's deja vu all over again. What makes anyone believe that it may change every year? Or is there a different response every year to these resolutions?
Different years have different responses. It depends on which government is in power in a given country. We saw something interesting that a couple months ago, UNESCO and a different body adopted a similar resolution. France and Brazil voted for some very extreme and inflammatory language, including the claim that Jews, that Israelis, were planting, quote, fake Jewish graves in Jerusalem, and other wild claims. And after the resolution, there was an outcry from different groups, from ourselves, from Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu, and both French political leaders and the Brazilians expressed regret and said that they would vote differently next time. And yet, here we're seeing it's a different makeup on the committee. Those countries are not on this committee. It's different countries on this. It's only 21 countries on this committee.
And who specifically is on this committee that can make any or have any sort of influence during these discussions?
Well, we don't expect countries like Cuba, Kuwait, Indonesia, Zimbabwe or Vietnam, which are on this committee, to vote anything other than the way dictatorships normally do, which is against Israel and for the Arab and Islamic states. However, countries like Poland are on the committee, and Jamaica is on the committee, and there are countries that are decent, and one would expect them to vote decently. And I think one has to recall what's the resolution is damaging, because it's not only a denial of Jewish cultural and religious rights going back 3,000 years, where Jerusalem's holy sites are the center of Jewish national and religious consciousness, but it also plays into the incitement to violence that we've been seeing since September, where Palestinians were using the rallying cry of Al-Aqsa Mosque is in danger to incite stabbing and shooting attacks.
Now, the statements being made about it are damaging, but what weight do these resolutions hold?
It depends on the resolution, but certainly it is a signal from the world body, the United Nations, to the Palestinians, to the Arab world, that the world is with them with their denialism. And Bill Clinton was shocked when Yasser Arafat at Camp David in the year 2000 said that there was no Jewish temple in Jerusalem. He said that was shocking not only to Jews but to Christians alike. And for the UN to adopt these resolutions to deny that there are Jewish ties to Temple Mount, to the Western Wall, feeds into this denialism, which harms the ability of the Arab world to progress in a rational way.
And what can be done going forward against these resolutions, or to even the balance of these resolutions?
Well, I think it's vital that countries like France, which again is not voting in this resolution, but democracies that are proud of their records, need to step up to the plate and vote in a manner that promotes rationalism in the Middle East at a time when we're seeing irrationalism and fanaticism dominate and massacre. It's the responsibility of all countries, and especially free societies, to encourage the forces of rationalism and not those of wild conspiracy theories that deny tolerance to other faiths. And of course, the fact is that only Israel has allowed Judaism, Christianity, and Islam to flourish freely, unlike when Jordan controlled Jerusalem, they desecrated holy sites.
Mr. Hillel Neuer, thank you very much for joining us on this latest resolution that will be debated at UNESCO's World Heritage Site Committee. Have a good day. Thank you very much.
Thank you.